Senator Blackburn talking about censorship first. These are just the things that I thought were kind of decent questions and with an answer that interests us.
We've done one hearing on algorithms. I chair Communications and Technology Subcommittee here. We're getting ready to do a second one on algorithms. We're going to do one next week on prioritization. So I'd like to ask you, do you subjectively manipulate your algorithms to prioritize or censor speech?
Nice. Finally, someone's asking some real questions.
Congresswoman, we don't think about what we're doing as censoring speech. I think that there are...
That's a great answer. We don't think about what we're doing as killing people. We think about it as human resource management.
There are types of content like terrorism that I think that we all agree we do not want to have on our
site.
Yeah,
I've heard this
I know.
once, I've heard it 1,000 times.
Because that was his talking points. It's literally on the picture. Talk about terrorism and sex trafficking.
Terrorism that I think that we all agree we do not want to have on our service. So we build systems that can identify those and can remove that content, and we're very proud of that work.
Let me tell you something right now.
Period time.
It's not terrorism.
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 Now.
So as CEO, have you ever made hiring or firing decisions based on political positions or what candidates they supported?
No.
Why was Palmer Luckey fired?
Yeah, that was what a trap. What a trap. And here comes one of those crowd guffawing moments.
That is a specific personnel matter that seems like it would be inappropriate.
You just made a specific representation that you didn't make decisions based on political views.
Well, I can commit that it was not because of a political view.
Do you know of those 15 to 20,000 people engaged in content review, how many, if any, have ever supported financially a Republican candidate for office?
Senator, I do not know that.
Your testimony says it is not enough that we just connect people. We have to make sure those connections are positive. It says we have to make sure people aren't using their voice to hurt people or spread misinformation. We have a responsibility not just to build tools, to make sure those tools are used for good. Mr. Zuckerberg, do you feel it's your responsibility to assess users whether they are good and positive connections or ones that those 15 to 20,000 people deem unacceptable or deplorable?
Senator, you're asking me personally?
Oh, nice.
Facebook.
Nice one.
Senator, I think that there are a number of...
Yes.
He slipped in the word deplorable, which is a buzzword.
Yeah. It was well done.
Meaning Trump supporter.
Yeah. Well done. Well done.
Things that we would all agree are clearly bad. Foreign interference in our elections, terrorism, self-harm.
What about censorship?
I think that you would probably agree that we should remove terrorist propaganda from the service. So that, I agree, I think is clearly bad activity that we want to get down, and we're genuinely proud.
Do you want to get down? Bow, bow, get down on it.
Of how well we do at that. Now, what I can say, and I do want to get this in before the end here, is that I'm very committed to making sure that Facebook is a platform for all ideas. That is a very important founding principle of what we do. We're proud of the discourse and the different ideas that people can share on the service, and that is something that, as long as I'm running the company, I'm going to be committed to making sure is the case.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Cruz. Do you want a break now? Or you want to keep going?
Sure. I mean, that was pretty good.
He's so proud of himself. Yeah, you can kill it.
And with that, I think we're done.
Well, I do have one more local rap, which is the local rap of the Zuckerberg thing, and let's play that, and then we're done.
Well, then we're not.
Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg agreed with lawmakers today that regulation of his industry is inevitable as he faced harsh questions by lawmakers during round 2 of a hearing on Capitol Hill.
We didn't take a broad enough view of our responsibility, and that was a big mistake. And it was my mistake, and I'm sorry.
If you've messaged anybody this week, would you share with us the names of the people you've messaged?
Good one.
Senator, no, I would probably not choose to do that publicly here.
I think that might be what this is all about.
The questioning follows the Cambridge Analytica scandal that exposed the data of up to 87 million Facebook users. Zuckerberg revealed that his own data was sold.
Okay.
Sure it was.
Now, just a couple things to wrap it up that I remembered. One is I could not find this clip. The producer sent me the time code on the C-SPANs. I just could not find it. But apparently, at one point, Zucky is asked about intelligence agencies. No. Something about FaceBag, and his answer is, Senator, I cannot see why any intelligence... crap. I got to find this clip. Someone needs to find it for me, because the way it sounded is like he stuttered, including himself as an intelligence agency. That clip I would like, because that would be clip of the day if we could find that. If someone understood it properly. There was another little oopsie from...
it may show up in the database at C-SPAN once this thing is...
Yeah, someone will make a clip out of it probably.
Once the transcript is done.
This is, I think this, what was this on MSNBC? Mike Hufflinger. He's the former FaceBag global business marketing head.
Well, I think it is. And what happens when you're trying to innovate, especially at this scale, what happens is you have to have an almost ridiculous amount of optimism to get up in the morning and build the world something that didn't exist before, or certainly didn't exist before at this scale. And then when you do that, you begin to discover that to be truly successful in the long term, you also have to be very vigilant. And I think what we've seen, and I think we've heard it now from Mark very clearly for a few weeks, is that there's been an enormous amount of innovation, and I think that's undeniable, but not...
Invasion.
Yeah, good one.
The truth always wants to come out, doesn't it? Now, in finalizing from my end, I was surprised that my statement, you can't monetize the network, is actually more true than I realized it myself. I thought it was only, but it's really hard to do this with advertising. And just if you're really not contributing to the value network like we have here at No Agenda, you can't just sit on the sidelines and have some infrastructure and scoop everything up. It's some magical formula. It's like the Fibonacci of the internet. You can't monetize it. And no matter what you try, okay, I'll try by really the most truly Truman-esque method. Even that is not working because the people won't stand for it. Eventually, I think that FaceBag will lose. You just can't monetize it.
I don't have a sound effect for laughing, but
Why?
I think they've done a fine job of monetizing it already.
It's going to end.
I don't think so, and I don't think people are going to be all kind of, unless there's something else that comes along. Nothing has ever ended unless something came along that did it better. Unless there's something else that comes along. Nothing has ever ended unless something came along that did it better. Unless there's something else that comes along. Nothing has ever ended unless something came along that did it better. Unless there's something else that comes along. Nothing has ever ended unless something came along that did it better.